everybody, it's Kelly Oblak coming to you for the Crafty Maven Getaway Spotlight Sunday. I'm taping this today, or videoing this today, on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, thus the Wear and Know the Green. And since my name is Kelly, I'm Irish, completely appropriate. But the video itself is going to go live on Easter Sunday. So to all of you who celebrate Easter, happy Easter to all of you. I hope you're enjoying a great holiday with family and friends, or whoever you choose to celebrate with. And more importantly, I hope the Easter Bunny brought you a basket full of goodies. In my case, that would mean that it's filled with red wine and chocolate, two things that I really like to scrapbook with. I am coming to you from my scrapbook room. My IKEA shelves are right behind me. My desk is actually in front of me, and at some point I will get a craft room tour done. I scrapbook in what is a former man cave right now, so I actually scrapbook with deer in the room with me, or deer mounts anyway in the room with me, which is kind of interesting. But a little bit about me: I am currently divorced, but I do have stepkids and grandkids. My newest grandchild is a little boy, and as of today, he's 10 days old. So you will definitely see photos of children from me, but you'll also see a lot of photos of just my everyday life and things I like to do and places I like to go as well. I have been scrapbooking in some form or another since I was in high school, really. Does anybody remember like Prince Charles and Princess Diana's wedding? That started a big scrapbook for me when I was in high school, when I was a senior in high school. And I wanted to get that for you today, but a lot of my stuff like that, memorabilia, is packed away at the moment because I'm kind of in temporary housing quarters at the moment. So I couldn't bring you that, but what I am going to do is I have one of the very first scrapbooks that I ever made, more in the style as we know it, and I took a trip in 2001 with my mom and we went to Ireland, so I actually scrapbooked that. And I'll give you some photos of this, but our itinerary, lots of photos and stickers, sneezes, and just photos on white paper. I don't think with this that I really used any patterned paper in this. I did use ephemera, like tickets and that kind of stuff, but this really was my first foray into scrapbooking, so nothing too special. A couple of years later, my mom and I then went to Ireland together, and in that book, I did use some patterned papers. I went to Michael's and bought just a stack of 8.5 by 11 paper, so that was that one. I blame my mom, though, also for my kind of foray into how I scrapbook now. It's all her fault, because I don't think I would have gotten addicted if this very special project hadn't happened. So my grandfather, my mom's dad, was an artist, and he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And he was a very prolific artist, especially in his retirement years, but all of those pieces were spread throughout my mom's very large family and to very close friends of theirs. So before he passed away, my mom really wanted to get those documented. So we put out emails to family and friends to ask them to send us what piece they had, if it had a name and a year, and then if they could, to take a picture. So besides art, he also made furniture and wood sculptures as well. He was a wood carver. So that's what is contained in this book. And both my grandparents have since passed on, so the book has come back to me. It was obviously very well loved. He looked at it quite a bit as he got further and further into his Alzheimer's. He didn't remember people, but he was really attracted to this book. So I went to a scrapbook store to actually buy the materials because I wanted a little bit of paper or something, and that's what started my scrapbook obsession. So and I'll take just a quick picture of this for you. There's nothing really special about it other than, for me, obviously the sentimental piece, but these are lists of his works of art, and I just used vellum and ribbon. This probably was about the Ireland book was about 2001. This was probably about 2004 that I made this. But like I said, my mom gives me a hard time about all the scrapbooking that I do, and I always blame it on her. So my scrapbooking style is a lot of straight lines. I use a lot of layered paper. I scrap mostly with pattern paper. I will use cardstock from time to time as backgrounds, but it's really mostly pattern paper as backgrounds. I use a lot of embellishment clusters on my pages. And then the other two things that you'll frequently see on my pages would be thickers for titles. And then I almost always journal on some sort of journaling card. I do ink edges, probably my biggest Scrappy crush, and I think I talked about her in my very first video when I did Scraplift Saturday in March for my first appearance on the Crafty Maven. My Scraplift crush is Shemelle Lane, and when I saw her style, I knew I was a kindred spirit of hers with her as well, because our styles are similar. I'm a lot more straight lines than she is. So that being said, and I will photograph this as well for you, but this is my current favorite project. This is a project I do every year. Every year I pick a one little word, a la Allie Edwards. I don't take the class, but it sort of remains as a word that's out there all year for me. And what I do is I always make a layout, I take a photograph of myself, and then I put it in a frame that sits in my house. In the current space I'm in, it's actually sitting above my scrap desk. That moves, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's out there. But I made this layout in January and I still love it. It's probably going to be one of my favorite layouts ever. I love the colors. I'm in love with Elle's Studio product right now, and that's what a lot of this is. So anyway, this is my favorite current layout. I also have a favorite project that I do every year, and that's December Daily. So I have done December Daily now for 9 years. 2015 was my 9th year. I believe that's as long as Allie Edwards has been doing it as well, as much as I can remember anyway. A couple of years ago, I switched to these Simple Stories binders, and I really like them. I tend to do my album from Thanksgiving through New Year's Day, but that can vary depending on the year. It depends on how much I have going on Thanksgiving or in the first week of December. I don't necessarily scrapbook by day when I do this. I also don't pre-prep any pages, but I like the fact that I have the pockets to work with. And I will put the link to my Flickr gallery in the comments, or it will be there. I do have December Daily albums in there so that you can just click on the album if you ever want to see those pages. And if you watch my personal channel, I can pretty much guarantee you that you're going to see another December Daily album. I love this album. I know one of the big things for people is if you're having a hard year or something hard is going on, do you document it? And not last year, but the year before, I was going through a divorce, and I still did my December Daily album. And even though it was hard, and I saw some of those hard moments, I also really appreciated how I was trying to find gratitude in every day by using this December Daily project. So for those of you who wonder if you should do that, yes, but scrapbooking for me, because it's really for me, as a creative outlet and almost as a journaling outlet as well, that is a way that I get my emotions out, even whether they're happy or sad. You know, I do scrapbook to leave a legacy for my grandkids and family. I have 2 nephews as well that are as like my children as they could possibly be, because I don't have children of my own. But I really do it mainly for the creative piece for me, and also as a journaling thing. I scrapbooked the death of a very close friend of mine. I scrapbooked my dad's journey when he was in the hospital, and also eventually his death as well. And it's really cathartic for me. So I didn't intend to talk about that, but it just happened. But you know, I know that often is a big topic on message boards out there. So from my perspective, it really helps me to do it. My scrapbooks are my real life. Real life can be messy and it can be sad, and you're going to see that in my scrapbooks. If I really want to protect people just looking through them, I will hide my journaling on those kinds of pages, but most of the time it is out there. And if you would go through my Flickr gallery now, you would actually see in the year 2014 and 2015, you will see some of the layouts when I was going through my divorce. And I'm okay with sharing that. That's just a piece of who I am. Speaking of who I am, before I show you the last project, I didn't tell you what I did for a living, and this most people think is pretty cool. I'm a massage therapist. So I had a very long retail career, and 5 years ago, or 6 years ago actually, I went back to school and totally changed what I did. I was a buyer for department stores, totally changed what I did, became a massage therapist, and I can tell you that if you do something you love, you will never work another day in your life, like Steve Jobs has said, because since I became a massage therapist, I don't work. I love what I do so very, very much. So that's another little piece of me. The last album I have to show you, and I'm just going to reach over here to this table and grab it, is probably my current favorite project. One of my nephews is married, and the other one is getting married in May. And I just completed a surprise engagement album that I am going to be giving them as their shower present. I took their engagement album, or their engagement photographs for them, and I started doing a couple layouts with my favorite ones and realized suddenly that I was going to have a whole book full of layouts if I kept on with that. And so I decided to make a surprise album for them. This is Thursday. They're going to actually receive it on Sunday. So this, if they would happen to see this video, it won't spoil anything for them. The other thing is I do have their engagement album, the photos from their engagement album, or the photos of the layout from their engagement album, on my Flickr page as well. If you just look at for 7 Megan's engagement, that will be their album. Right now, as of Thursday, it's hidden, so they can't see it if they happen to go across it, because my niece-to-be will sometimes go into that Flickr gallery. But once she has the album on Sunday, then I'll make it go live. So anyway, just a couple of things. And what I'll do, you're probably going to be getting glare on this, but I will actually link that Flickr gallery here as well too. So this is my current favorite project. You know, as I said, one of the things, and something I'm really proud of and really love. The other thing I am working on is my other nephew got married in September 2014, and I got their pictures late last summer. So I am working on his wedding album. So there is a wedding album in there as well. I'm not sure if I have my wedding album in there or not anymore. I don't remember. But anyway, if you look on Zach and Elena's wedding, that will be there as well. You'll see the album for that wedding as well. I just want to thank Hannah for the opportunity to be part of the Crafty Maven Getaway. I've been watching it since its inception, and I've known for a long time that I wanted to do process videos. I just needed to get the equipment to do it. So when I finally got a new phone, I was able to start doing the videos, and I love it. It's just a fun thing to do. I am in some ways a teacher at heart. I do a lot of education within my regular job. I do some education at the church I belong to for volunteer, and I also now do education in scrapbook videos. So I always welcome comments and questions. Please just ask away, and you'll find the link to my personal channel and my Flickr gallery, as I said, in the description here. Like I said, hope you are all having a great day, whether you're celebrating Easter or not, and it's a pleasure to do this for all of you. Bye!